Good morning again, and welcome, everybody. Thank you for coming. Again, this is another beautiful day in Thousand Oaks. I'm Jay Spurgeon. I'm the Public Works Director for the City of Thousand Oaks. And we're here to celebrate the opening of an absolutely beautiful facility, our newest household hazardous waste facility, our bus parking area, which is behind this facility, and a staff training and community meeting room that is state-of-the-art, and that is out near our MSC headquarters buildings out there. We also have a new parking area that Costco will be developing a trailhead for the wonderful open space area where there's trails that take you for miles. So we're here to celebrate and also to recognize all the various individuals and organizations that made this project such a success. We are broadcasting live on TOTV this morning, so I would ask you please to put your cell phones on airplane mode because we don't want a crash landing. There's lots of signals going around here, so anyway, appreciate if you would do that. Following our ceremony this morning, there is a light lunch that will be served over in the tents to my right, courtesy of Woodcliff Construction. Thank you so much for providing that. And then there's tours following as well that will be given of these facilities as well as the training room if you want to walk down there. First, I'd like to introduce our speakers for this morning. Council member and VCTC Commissioner Claudia Bill de la Pena. Thank you, Claudia, for being here. City Manager Scott Mitnick. Here's Scott. Dr. Eugene Singh, who is an international expert on designing these types of facilities from UCLA Extension. Dr. Singh. Dr. Rachel Koshbin, also from UCLA Extension. She's the Director of the Engineering and Technical Management Department. Thank you, Doctor, for being here. And last, Candace Wong, who's the President of the U.S. Green Business Council, the California chapter. There are many people and individuals and companies that made this project a success, as I mentioned. So I want to just give a shout out to a few folks who are here. I'm not going to be able to cover everybody. But from the CRPD Board of Directors, George Lang and Susan Holt are both here. Thank you. From the Conejo Valley Unified School District Board member, Peggy Buckles is here. There's Peggy over there. Thank you for coming. As Scott Mitnick will tell you in a moment, those two districts had a pivotal role in obtaining this property that we're on standing here and sitting here today. John Trotty from Municipal Solid Waste Management, he's the chief editor. And there's John right there. Thanks for being here. We expect a very, very favorable write-up in your next edition, obviously. Kim Oakley from Cal Recycle. Is Kim here? Kim is here. Anyway, thank you, Kim, because she gave us money for this. And also Darren Kettle from VCTC also gave us money. Darren, thank you for that. Cheryl Sievert should be here from MV Transportation. There's Cheryl. She's the operator of our transit buses. Mike Smith from Waste Management. Where's Mike? There he, good. They're an important partner in our solid waste management program, of course. Mike Taylor from PSC. They're the contractor that's going to run this for us. There's Mike over there. And I want to give a special recognition to someone who came, I'm sure, the farthest of any to attend this event from Japan, Mr. Naoki Hara. Right there, Mr. Hara. Thank you so much for being here. Mr. Hara is Deputy General Manager of JFE Engineering. Dr. Singh will tell you a little bit more about them and their involvement in this project. But they are a designer and constructor of internationally of facilities such as this, as well as many, many other kinds of things. So bridges and a very large company. Again, thank you, Mr. Hara, for coming so far. I want to recognize the project team quickly as well. These kind of projects take a long time to develop, and there's a lot of work in design, construction, administration, and whatnot. Our contractor, of course, we couldn't have done it without them. They did a great job. Look at this. Woodcliff Construction and Omid Tabrizi, I believe, is here. Where's Omid? Wave at us. Oh. And our architect, designer, Dow Dawn is here. Main Street Architects. Thank you for all your work on that. We had help during the construction phase from Holland Foreman and Vayner Construction Management. Mehdi Hedari, I believe, is here. And of course, all of the various city staff. And there's too many to mention, although I will shout out one individual. Our project manager who took this project for how many years, Shamir? Where's Shamir? Shamir Shahamiri. 3 years. Shamir's in the back there. You know, he and his team, they took the project. We did something different on this project. We actually, instead of hiring a construction management firm, we had Shamir and his team out here for the duration of the project. He was the resident engineer. We probably saved the city almost $700,000 doing it that way. That is tremendous. I'm so proud of our team that did that. As many municipal projects, this one took a decade to get here. Now, back in 2004, we started talking about acquiring the property that we're standing and sitting on. Scott's going to tell you more about that, but that's when it started. Initial discussions about a very complicated property transfer. Scott will give you more on that. Design, we started in 2008, started construction in 2012, and finished earlier this year. The project includes or cost a total of $10.2 million. And again, thank you to Cal Recycle and VCTC for over $2 million in grants that helped fund the project. This is a household hazardous waste facility that's the first of its kind. Dr. Singh is going to tell you more about the unique features of the design, but this is state-of-the-art. And we're proud to have it here in Thousand Oaks. It's going to be a training classroom, in a sense, for design students at UCLA Extension, and again, Dr. Singh will tell you more about that. This facility will be open to the public Fridays and Saturdays between 9 and 3 o'clock, 9 a.m., 3 p.m. Previously, as many of you know, we had one event per month where our residents and businesses could drop off hazardous materials of all kinds. We now have a much greater accessibility for our residents. Councilmember Bill De La Pena will tell you more about the benefits to our residents and businesses of this. This is a LEED certified building. We're very proud of that. And Candace Wong from the U.S. Green Business Council will talk more about that as well. If you want to sign up to drop off your hazardous materials, go to www.toaks.org/gogreen, and you can sign up for a Friday or Saturday of the time of your choosing. We do ask that you make reservations, and then you can come and drop off. We also have a reuse room where you can peruse what people have dropped off that's actually perfectly good. It's unopened paint and various other types of household materials and supplies that we offer back to the community for free. So, with no further ado, I would like to turn it over to our first speaker, Council Member Claudia Bill De La Pena. Claudia?
All right. Good morning, everybody, and thank you for coming. This is indeed a wonderful turnout. Who would have thought that a ribbon cutting would create standing room only, basically? We have quite a few members here, audience members standing. Additional chairs were brought in, so please feel free to have a seat. You don't have to stand up the entire time. It may take a little while. All right. Well, it is exciting to be here on this wonderful and beautiful day. And I'm so very excited to be able to take part in this, in my opinion, very important ribbon cutting. This is the celebration, or a celebration, of the expansion of our municipal service center. And the city of Thousand Oaks is very proud today of this major accomplishment. This accomplishment will serve our residents for many years in terms of convenience, improved quality of life, and most importantly, the protection of our natural resources. Being green isn't easy, as we all know. It takes a lot more money in some instances to be green and to bring about awareness as to how to protect our environment. But being green is important and always has been important to the City Council, to me personally, and to, I believe, the residents at large. And that is why I'm so proud to be here today to share with you the Household Hazardous Waste Facility, which is, as Jay already mentioned, a state-of-the-art facility, one-of-a-kind, green LEED certified building. And Jay, is this the second or the third LEED certified building that we have? It's the second, okay. The transportation center was the first one. So we're on the right path here. This building and the additional conference room to the main MSC office are both LEED certified, as Jay already mentioned. And some of you know, the LEED Green Building Certification Program recognizes the best-in-class building strategies and practices. The green principles behind this expansion project also helped us meet a goal, a City Council goal for 2014, by retaining our role and reputation as a leader in protecting the environment and preserving limited natural resources. And I'm happy to see that we're helping the public to do the very same in their daily lives by providing this facility to them. Just this last Friday and Saturday, we actually held a soft grand opening for the public here at the Household Hazardous Waste Facility. And from what I understand, there was very little advertising about the soft opening, but quite a big turnout. I believe that there were over 130 people who came by to drop off their hazardous waste products, and this is with, as I said, very little advertising. So once we get the word out to the entire community that we are here, I'm sure we'll be perhaps overrun with the residents. Such an anticipated turnout is a sign that projects like this are good for the public, good for the city, and good for the environment. I'm also proud to recognize our efforts for reducing carbon emissions with the construction of the CNG fueling station. This station will provide compressed natural gas fueling for up to 16 vehicles at the same time. This project qualifies for Southern California Edison's incentive program, Savings by Design, because of its high performance and efficient electrical and mechanical design. This incentive program allowed the city to receive a small rebate of about $5,200, but every dollar counts. So on behalf of the City Council, I would like to congratulate the staff, the Public Works team, all of city staff, and of course, the entire community and everybody who is here this morning who worked so hard to make this project a success. And I think our public works staff and everybody who did work on this project deserves a round of applause. And this concludes my remarks. please feel free later on, I'm sure it will be mentioned, to take advantage of the tour and, of course, the free lunch. So I'll turn it back over to Jay. Thank you.
Thanks very much, Claudia. And next is our city manager, Scott Mitnick.
Good morning. Since Jay covered much of what I was going to say, I'll shift gears. I'd like to ask a question, and you can answer by a raise of hands. How many people out here today, how many of you like matzo ball soup? Tom has both hands up, so he must really like it. I'll come back to that, but it's the community's like of matzo ball soup that played a bigger role than you might realize to get this facility to become a reality. So now I have your attention. So this is a great day in the Conejo Valley in general. It's actually a great day for the county. It's a great day for the city. Many years in the making, as you heard. But first, I'd like to acknowledge and thank the 15 elected officials that had the confidence and desire to do the right thing and voted to make this happen. And that's the 5 council members from about 10 years ago, the 5 school board members, and the 5 CRPD members. And some of those folks are here. And of course, with seeing Darren, we should also thank VCTC and their board. And it's really important that we recognize the elected officials at events like this because they had to make some tough decisions to make this a reality. There was a very elaborate exchange and series of agreements that were put into place to make this happen. And I won't get into all the details, it's complicated, but we had to swap properties, and it's a tremendous example of a public-private partnership, as well as a multi-agency collaboration and cooperation, because we had to get the federal government to bless this because there's money from the federal government, about $600,000 or so. Did I get that right, Darren, for the $500,000? And then we had money that VCTC helped get, and then we had city money. We had to do swaps with the school district and Chappell Industries. And I was hopeful that Alan Cummins from Chappell Industries, well, he retired years ago. He had been with that company for 30 years. He really made this happen. He lives in Orange County. He was going to be here, but he couldn't make it today. He played a key role. And then all of the private operators who were going to run this thing. It's a great example of a public-private partnership. So the taxpayers played a key role to make this happen. The city's the lead agency, but we're going to have private operators run the facility. It's a great example of good government and good cooperation with the private sector. One person in particular, and I'll go back to the matzo ball soup thing. Oh, 2 people. Don Nelson, our former public works director, he's the guy that pushed the city manager's office to pursue this opportunity, and he was supposed to be here. So I'm disappointed that Don couldn't make it. He's in the area, but he just couldn't make it. So he played a key role to push us to pursue this and make it a reality. The other individual who I know would be very pleased and satisfied with the outcome is Nathan Chappell, the Mr. Chappell of Chappell Industries. Built a lot of homes throughout California, the Rancho Conejo development over here, that's his company's name. He passed away, I think, in 2006 or 7, about that time. But he was the individual that allowed the transfer of properties to take place so we could do this. And his company actually lost some money on the transaction in terms of opportunity cost of what they could have made had they been able to develop their properties, including this property. But he saw the benefit, the community benefit to do this. So I want to tell the story. It was 9 years ago, about this time, that we came to an agreement. But prior to that, there were a series of meetings. I had to go out to their offices in West LA a number of times. As an assistant city manager, I went with Don Nelson. But it came down to a final meeting at Brent's Deli in Northridge. Chappell is one of the major builders in Porter Ranch of the homes out there. So it came down to Mr. Chappell. We needed his blessing. And there were this is on camera, but it's a fact. There were disagreements within the company as to whether or not to do this transaction. So it came down to a final meeting with Mr. Chappell, myself as a brand new city manager, Alan Cummins as a senior vice president for Chappell Industries, and Don Nelson was supposed to be with me. I was very nervous about this meeting. Don was sick or something, left me on my own. So I drive out to Northridge, and I go to Brent's, and it was a scene out of a movie. We were at a table in the center of the restaurant, and then there were all these Chappelle employees, which I didn't know at the time, all around us. They were there because it was their lunch break, and they had some meetings associated with Porter Ranch. So every time an issue came up, Mr. Chappelle would raise his hand, and out would come somebody from a booth to come over to answer the question. It was very interesting. We had an accounting question, there was an accountant. A legal question, up came a lawyer. So it was. I wanted to deliver for city council and make this happen, and I was being tested as a new city manager. So it came time to ordering our lunch, and I was pretty hungry, and so I ordered the matzo ball soup. No big deal, right? Tom would order it every chance he could get at Brent's. So he was taken by the fact that I ordered that, and he said, "Alan, the guy ordered matzo ball soup. Scott, do you like matzo ball soup?" I go, "Well, yeah. Why wouldn't I?" Okay. So then we spent an hour talking through the pros and cons, and he had reservations. And then he just stands up. And I'm sure Alan, I wish he were here. Mr. Chappelle stands up and said, "The guy likes matzo ball soup. If he likes matzo ball soup, that's good enough for me. We have a deal." He put out his hand. I stood up and shook his hand, and then he said, "I have to go to the bathroom." So he left for a little while, left Alan and I there, and Alan goes, "Wow, congratulations." I go, "Well, what do we do now? We have to, agree to certain things." He goes, "Mr. Chappelle stood up, shook your hand, you have a deal. You go back, you tell your city council, you have a deal, we'll make it happen." And then he said when he comes back, he's going to talk about other stuff. Don't talk about the project anymore. And so we had a deal. And so every time I go to Brent's, I order matzo ball soup. So it's a great project, and Mr. Chappelle is a class act, and I wish he could be here. I wish he could be here to see this, and I wish Mr. Cummings could be here. Bill West, the new CEO for Chappelle, was supposed to be here. He got called away, but he lives in Thousand Oaks, and he's real proud of this facility. So it's a great example of the public-private partnership, and a good example that you should pay attention to what you order when you go to Brent's. So for everybody here, thank you, and the city's proud of this, and to the elected officials, we'll do you proud going forward. Thank you.
Thank you, Scott. That is a great story. And the ceremony that we had here about 8 years ago, under a tent, I think maybe a little bit further behind us, was really special because there were so many moving pieces and deeds that had to be transferred and deed restrictions that had to be lifted and checks written and all these different things. And so we're back. And again, I think Mr. Chappelle would have been very happy with the outcome. So thanks, Scott. Dr. Sung will be next on our speakers.
Good morning. My name is Eugene Zhang, and I'm the lead instructor in the UCLA Extension Recycling and Municipal Solid Waste Management program. The program was actually started by the US EPA and the United Nations to develop the educational curriculum in the recycling and solid waste field. And UCLA is honored to have been part of the development of this project. So give you a little bit of history. UCLA Extension was actually contracted by Cal Recycle a number of years ago to look at the best features of the various household hazardous waste facilities built around the country, particularly in California. The big concern was we wanted to get the toxic materials out of the municipal solid waste stream. During this project, we actually found that the city of Thousand Oaks had one of the best participation rates in terms of the number of citizens that actually participated in these events. And as the result of the project, we are able to compile a list of recommendations of what should go into an ideal facility. Of course, this is just a very academic document. But then the opportunity came up to be part of a design team that actually proposed on this actual project. And my condition for working on this thing, and thank the city so much for going ahead with this, because it was a very big deal, is that I asked them, do you want to be the benchmark reference teaching facility for our program, which is an international program? And we have to report to an international advisory board that basically approves of our curriculum and approves of our best management practices case studies. So basically, this facility represents the recommendations made by over 40 facilities from around the world of the things that they would have done different or the things they recommended that should be incorporated in terms of health and safety and operational efficiency. And the city basically says, you go ahead and put these design requirements in, and we agree to be the benchmark teaching reference. So what this has become now is once this starts operations, we will be using this as a teaching facilities on how to design and operate facilities. So I thank the city very much for that. Thank you.
Thank you, Doctor. And the fact that this will be a teaching facility is just makes it all the more special. So that's going to be really cool going forward. Dr. Koshbin will now speak to us, also from UCLA Extension.
Good morning, everybody. Thank you. Congratulations to the City of Thousand Oaks for this one-of-a-kind, state-of-the-art household hazardous waste facility. I would like to thank the City of Thousand Oaks, Cal Recycle, especially Dr. Eugene Sang from UCLA Extension, and the students from UCLA Extension Recycling and Municipal Solid Waste Certificate Program. This endeavor started about 5 years ago when Cal Recycle gave a $100,000 grant to UCLA Extension to come up with a design format and a design study for a state-of-the-art hazardous waste facility. Under the direction and guidance of Dr. Sang, they studied about 40 different facilities and looked at the best features from all of those facilities that are incorporated into this household hazardous waste facility. City of Thousand Oaks, as Dr. Sang mentioned again, has been very gracious to allow the students to study here. The current students of UCLA Extension are performing metrics for performance measurement for this facility, and the future students will be using them for case studies. This is a benchmark facility for international students to study and to learn from. Again, thank you for having us here, and congratulations to the city.
Thank you, Doctor. Now, Candace Wong from the U.S. Green Business Council will say some words. I wanted to point out that this facility here we're standing in front of is LEED certified, but also our training and community meeting room in the other part of our campus here is also LEED certified. So we have now 3 buildings that are LEED certified in the city. Okay, Ms. Wong?
Thank you and good morning. It's a privilege to be here at these dedication ceremonies because we're celebrating sustainability and just great building design. I really want to congratulate the architects at Main Street. They did a fabulous job, and if you look at this facility and you didn't know that it was a LEED certified facility, you would just think that it was a beautiful building. And it's a building that is going to be tremendously useful for this community because it celebrates recycling and reuse, which is one of the great things about the USGBC is that 2 decades ago, some people got together and were really thought leaders in this and progressed this movement of sustainability in architecture and construction. Just took it on and just really made a movement of it. I just want to know, how many people before today heard of the USGBC by raise of hands? Okay, so a few of you, which is great because that means that we're starting to be recognized as a benchmark for sustainability. I want to recognize 2 board members that are here with me today who actually were involved with the project, David Ittner, who is with Southern California Edison. So you should really pay attention to him because he's the money guy at Southern California Edison. He has a great job of celebrating sustainability and spreading the word and giving projects like this money to reward them for their great work. And then Andy Pease is also on our board. She was involved with the design team and is very knowledgeable about sustainability, and she's going to lead one of the tours, I think, or a couple of the tours. So I think sticking with her will be good too, to hear about all the great features here. So with that, I think there's a couple of plaques here that I will present. Oh, I got it. So this first one is for the Household Hazardous Waste Facility, and as you can see, it's beautiful, and it's certified at the certified level. So here you go.
Thank you so much.
Congratulations. Oh, sure. And so this is for the second one. These are bigger than they usually it's just a little, a little bit smaller. And this is for the annex. And so please make your way down there as well. It's also a beautiful facility. So one of the things that I didn't mention is that in the Central Coast chapter, which is San Luis Obispo. Oh. One of the interesting statistics that I pulled in getting ready for this dedication is that in the Central Coast chapter, we have very close to 100 certified LEED projects. This project is actually officially number 96 and 97. So congratulations for that. And as you said, this is the second and third facility for the city. I hope to be back here again for number 4, 5, and ongoing. So thank you very much.
Thank you all very much. I appreciate your comments very much. And we're now going to have our ribbon cutting ceremony. And so if I could have the speakers please come around, and this door will open back here. And while they're setting up, again, thank you all for coming to celebrate this grand opening. I would remind you again, there will be tours offered following this event. Cut away. There you go.